Hello everyone, this is Al Red Sox Fan coming to you from Al Red Sox Fan YouTube channel. Hope all is well on what is now Sunday morning as we head towards Wednesday and 4th of July. I wanted to stream a little earlier, but I wasn't feeling well. Now I have woken up and I'm going to do this game because I want to finish off our Elite Eight and get our final four teams in our 1968 one and done tournament. Okay, let's get to the lineups. As in today's game, this is our final Elite Eight game. The final team will punch their ticket to the Final Four. And we have the number 6 Cubs taking on the number 5 Indians in Cleveland. Clinton Parks has joined us in the chat. Hope all is well, Clinton. He says, got one in there for you. Cyrus paid me a visit again. Excellent, Clinton. I saw a couple of people have posted some things I'll be watching. I'll try to listen a little later, but I'm going to catch up on a lot of stuff. I wasn't feeling too well today. All right, let's get to the ball game. For the Chicago Cubs, leading off, playing shortstop, Don Kissinger, 240, 1 home run, 32 ribbies. Batting second, the second baseman, Glenn Beckert, 294, 4 home runs, 37 runners knocked in. Batting third, the sweet swinging left fielder, Billy Williams, 288, 30 home runs, 98 ribbies. Batting fourth, the third baseman, Ron Santo, 246, 26 home runs, and also 98 ribbies. Batting fifth, Mr. Cub himself, Ernie Banks, 246, 32 homers, 83 runners knocked in. Batting sixth, the right fielder, Jim Hickman, 223, 5 homers, 23 RBI. We moved him up in front of Huntley because he hits left-handers at a 6L. And batting behind him in the 7th spot, the catcher, who normally bats in the 6th spot, Randy Huntley, 226, 7 homers, 65 ribbies. Batting 8th, the center fielder, Adolfo Phillips, 241, 13 homers, 33 ribbies. Batting 9th, on the hill, towing the rubber, Bill Hands, 16 and 10, 2.89 earned run average, striking out 148, walking 36, giving up 26 gopher balls. On the mound for the Cleveland Indians, who actually had one pretty good pitching staff. Sam McDowell, 15 and 14. Obviously no run support. Listen to this earned run average, 1.81. They obviously didn't score runs for Sam McDowell. He struck out 283 and walked 110, gave up 13 home runs. Behind the plate for Cleveland is Duke Sims. He has a neutral arm of 0. Tony Horton, the former Red Sox, at first. Fuller's at second. Brown's at short. Alvis is at third. May is in left field with a +1 arm. Cardinal is in center field with a -1 arm. And Davalillo is in right field with a +1 arm. So here comes Don Kissinger. And Kissinger is looking for the 3-6 column. Corners are playing in to protect against the bunt. Here's the pitch from McDowell to Kissinger, and the ball game is on its way. And it is a 3-4 to Kissinger. Column of choice. So Kissinger is going to get a pitch to hit here. 3-4. Line shot, and Alves makes the catch at third. Kissinger hit it hard, but right at Alvis at third base. So 1 out, no one on for Glenn Beckert. Second baseman, right-handed batter. Again, corners move in. He handles the bat well. He's a B bunter. Alvis in at third, Horton in at first. Beckert's looking for the 1-6 column. McDowell looks in at Sims. Sims sets the target. Here's the pitch to Becker. And it is a 5-8 off the McDowell card. 5-8, 1 out, no one on. And that will be a strikeout on the swing and a miss. Chase the high heat, 1 down. And with 2 down, excuse me. And I'll bring up the left-handed batting Billy Williams. Williams hit 30 home runs in 68 to go along with a 288 batting average. 1 swing of the bat to put the Cubs on the board in an early lead here. He's looking for the 2-1 column. Sims wiggles the fingers. McDowell nods his head. The windup and the pitch to Billy Williams. And it is a 2-5 to the sweet swinging Billy Williams. Column of choice for Williams, 2-5. So he's going to get a good pitch to look at. And Billy Williams will drive this ball deep. Will it stay in the ballpark? That's a 20. So Billy Williams sends that ball left field. May going back, and he makes the catch right at the warning track. Williams just got under it. He got a pitch to hit, and he missed it. Side retired. We go to the bottom of the first, and due up for the Cleveland Indians. Leading off, the center fielder, Jose Cardinal. 257, 7 home runs, 44 runners knocked in. Batting second, the right fielder, Vic Davalillo. 277, 3 homers, 31 runners knocked in. Batting third, Lee May, and he's in left. 281, 4 homers, 26 ribbies. Batting fourth, playing first base, the former Red Sox, Tony Horton. 249, 14 home runs, 59 runners driven in. Batting fifth, doing the catching, Duke Sims. 249, 11 home runs, 44 runners driven in. They have no offense, this team. Batting sixth, playing second base, Vern Fuller. 242 with 18 ribbies, no home runs. Batting seventh, the third baseman, Max Alvis. 223, 8 homers, 37 ribbies. Batting eighth, the shortstop, Larry Brown. 234, 6 home runs, 35 runners knocked in. Batting ninth, doing the pitching, as we just saw, Sam McDowell. So Jose Cardinal is at the plate. He's looking for the 1-5 column, and he'll be facing on the mound for the Chicago Cubs, Bill Hands. 16 wins, 10 losses, 34 starts. Struck out 148. Walked 36, gave up 26 gopher balls. Nothing's changed since the first time I read it when he was in the lineup. Huntley's behind the plate, excellent arm, -3. Ernie Banks is at first, Becker's at second, Kissinger's at short, and Ron Santo is at third. That rounds out the infield. In the outfield, left to right. In left field, the sweet swinging Billy Williams with a neutral arm of 0. Adolfo Phillips is in center with a +1 arm. And Hickman is in right with a -1 arm. So here's Jose Cardinal. He's looking for the 1-5 column. He'll be dealing with Hands. Hands looks in at Huntley. Here's the pitch to Jose Cardinal. And it is a 3-8. It's off the Cardinal card. Not a column of choice, though. 3-8. Ground ball to Kissinger. Throws to Ernie Banks, 1 away. If you're scoring at home, 6-3. Now I'll bring up the left-handed batting right fielder, Vic Davalillo. He's looking for the 1-5 column. He's a C-bunter also. So the Cubs keep their infield at normal depth. Hands nods his head. Here's the pitch of Davalillo. And Davalillo is dealt a 4-5. And this is off the Hands card. 4-5. Ground ball to Banks. He'll flip to Hands, covering the bag. 2 up, 2 down. Here in the bottom of the first, that brings up Lee May. And May is looking for the 1-5 column. Another left-handed batter facing the righty Bill Hands. Hands rocks and delivers to May. And it is a 6-7. And this will be off the Hands card. 6-7. 2 outs, no one on. Bottom of the first, no score. And this is a ground ball to Becker at second. An excellent defensive second baseman. And that is a 12. He fields the ball quite smoothly. Now he throws to Mr. Cub at first, Ernie Banks. And that is an 11. Side retired. 1, 2, 3. Go the Indians. We go to the top of the second. No score. Due up for Chicago. Santo, Banks, and Hickman to face McDowell, Sam McDowell. Ron Santo had 26 home runs to go with his .246 batting average in 68. He's looking for the 3-6 column. Power hitting right-handed batting third baseman. McDowell, the windup and the pitch to Santo. And McDowell deals Santo a 4-5 off the McDowell card. 4-5. And that will be a strikeout. Looking, curveball got him set up nicely with the fastball. 1 down. And here comes Mr. Cubs himself, Ernie Banks. Banks is actually an A bunter. And they're playing normal. Banks did have 32 home runs. He's swinging away. Here's the pitch to Mr. Cub, Ernie Banks. Will the friendly confines of this Cleveland stadium be friendly to Mr. Cub? And that is a 4-9. And this is off the McDowell card, 4-9. 1 out, no one on. Top of the second. And Banks drives this ball far. And that's a 5. So he gives this pitch a ride. And that ball's going deep to left. May's going back at the track at the wall, and he makes the catch. As the ball just died in front of the wall. So there's 2 outs, no one on. And here comes Jim Hickman. So Ernie Banks misses a pitch he could drive out of there. Just got under it. Hickman, right-handed batter. Hits left-handed pitching quite well. He's a 6L. He's looking for the 2-6 column. And you can see that 2 column is just tremendous. Look at that. That's why we inserted him in the lineup. And he's batting in front of Huntley. The windup and the pitch to Hickman, looking to hit that 2 column. He does not, though. He hits the 6th. Another column of choice, though, off the McDowell card. So Hickman's going to see a pitch he likes. And that is a 6-7. 6-7 to Jim Hickman. And he works a walk. Keeps the inning alive. So 2 outs, Hickman's at first. 1 through 12 base runner. Here comes Randy Huntley. Huntley's looking for the 6-4. Hickman will be off on contact with 2 outs. McDowell looks over to first. Now in at the plate. Picks up the sign from Sims. He racks and fires to Huntley. And that is a 4-6. Huntley gets a column of choice here. So he's going to see a pitch he might be able to drive. And this ball will go out to center field. Oh boy. And it rolls under the computer. And I'm not cheating. It is a 1. So Huntley will drive this ball over the head of Cardinal. That will be a double. And now let's see how the relay throw goes, if there's any error. That's a 6-1-2. So that's a 9, no error. So Huntley doubles over the head of Cardinal. Will Hickman be waved around and score all the way from first, as that's going to catch some wall in left center field? And they will not wave Hickman around. They will hold him. I might have took a shot at waving him around, because here's the number 8 batter, Adolfo Phillips. So 2 outs. The Cubs threatening here. Hickman walked, and Huntley doubled to left center over the head of Cardinal. And here comes Adolfo Phillips. He only batted .215, but he did have 13 home runs. Looking for the 2-6 column here for Adolfo Phillips. McDowell has to bear down. The windup and the pitch to Phillips. And it is a 1-8 off the Phillips card. Not a column of choice, though. 1-8. And that's going to be a ground ball to Brown. He throws to Horton. Side retired. So McDowell pitches out of the jam. We go to the bottom of the second. Still scoreless. The Cubs threaten, but did not score. Due up For the Cleveland Indians, Tony Horton, Duke Sims, and Vern Fuller to face Jim Hands. All hands on deck. And here's Tony Horton, right-handed batter, looking for the 2-5 column. Utley sets the target. Here's the pitch to Horton, and Hands deals Horton a 110. So off the Horton card, not a column of choice, 110. And he'll pop out to Utley, the catcher, 1 down. Now I'll bring up Duke Sims, the Cleveland Indian catcher, left-handed batter. 11 home runs in 68. Sims looking for the 3-5 column. Hands doesn't want to oblige. Here's the pitch to Duke Sims. Hands deals Sims a 4-3 off the Hands card. 4-3. What will it be? We shall see. And that's going to be a ground ball to first base, and Mr. Cub, Ernie Banks. And that is a 7. So Banks is going to make a dive at this ball. We don't know if he gets it. And that is a 6-5-2. So that's a 13. No error on the play. But will Ernie Banks make the play? Ground ball to Banks' left. He dives. From his knees, he throws the Hands covering the bag. And it's a bang-bang play. They get out number 2. Great play by Mr. Cub, Ernie Banks. So 2 outs, base is empty. And here comes Vern Fuller. Fuller's looking for the 1-5 column. He's a C bunter. Cubs playing their infield, outfield straightaway and normal, though. Utley wiggles the fingers. Here's the pitch from Hands to Fuller. And that is a 5-8. And it's a column of choice off the Hands card for Fuller. So he's going to see a good pitch to grip and rip. 5-8. Can he keep the inning alive? There's 2 outs, base is empty. He's going to ground to Kessinger up the middle. And he'll throw to first. Side retired. Nice play by Kessinger. They had him played beautifully. Go to the top of the third. No score here in Cleveland. Due up for the Cubs. Hands the pitcher. And then the top of the order, Kessinger and Beckert to face Sam McDowell. McDowell works quickly to his counterpart Hands. And that is a 2-7 to Hands. 2-7. And that's a strikeout. Swing and a miss at the fastball. 1 away. Top of the order, Don Kessinger. Shortstop's 0 for 1. He's an A bunter. Corners move in. Alvis in at third. Horton in at first. Kessinger awaits. The Sam McDowell offering. Here's the pitch by McDowell. And that is a 4-7. Off the McDowell card. 4-7. 1 out, no one on. Top of the third. No score. And that's a fly ball out to center. Cardinal goes back to his right a bit. Makes the catch. 2 down. So 2 outs, base is empty. And here comes Glenn Beckert. He's 0 for 1. He is a B bunter. And he's going to try to drop a drag bunt down. Here's the pitch. He drops it down. McDowell fields it, fires to first, and they just get Beckert. Side retired. So McDowell showing his cat-like quickness off the mound to throw out Beckert on the drag bunt. We go to the bottom of the third, still scoreless here in Cleveland. And the Indians will send to the plate Alvis, Brown, and the pitcher McDowell to face Bill Hands. Max Alvis looking for the 2-5 column. The third baseman awaits the Hands offering. Here's the pitch. Will he be in good hands with Bill Hands? And it is a 3-4 to Max Alvis. 3-4 off his card. Not a column of choice, though. And he hits this ball hard. So he can still have an opportunity to get a hit. But it's a 20. So the Cubbies dodge a bullet as he will line out to Ron Santo at third. So 1 out, no one on. And here comes the number 8 batter, the shortstop, Larry Brown, not the basketball coach. Brown, right-handed batting shortstop. He's looking for the 3-5 column. Here's the pitch to Brown from Hands. And it is a 6 and a 5. So it's a 6 column. And a 5. 1 out, no one on. Bottom of the third, ground ball to short to Kessinger. Solid defensive shortstop. And that is a 7. So he backhands it. And now he fires to first to Ernie Banks. 6, 6, 12, and a 5 is a 17. And boy, Banks scoops it out of the dirt and saves Kessinger a throwing error. And that's out number 2. Great play by Ernie Banks. So 2 outs, base is empty. The number 9 batter, Sam McDowell, steps to the plate, the pitcher. Hands deals to his counterpart, and McDowell is dealt a 3-2, and I believe the inning will be over, 3-2. As that's a pop out to Kessinger near the second base bag. The shortstop makes the catch, side retired. We go to the top of the 4th, scoreless here in Cleveland. This is our last Elite 8 game in our 1968 one-and-done tournament. The winner will go to the Final Four. 3 other teams have punched their tickets to the Final Four. I'm not going to give it away yet. I suggest you check out those games, as there are some fun ones. So here's the sweet swinging Billy Williams, left-handed batting left fielder. He is 0 for 1. Here's the pitch for McDowell to Billy Williams, and it is a 4-12 off the McDowell card, 4-12. And that's going to be a strikeout, swing and a miss. 1 away. Fastball sends him back to the pine. Here comes the Cubby third baseman, Ron Santo. He is 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up. Santo looking for some revenge. Duke Sims flashes the sign, sets the target. Here's the pitch to Ron Santo. And it is a 2-5 off the Santo card. Not a column of choice, though. McDowell living the charmed life so far. 2-5. And that's another strikeout. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back Ks on the fastball for McDowell. So 2 outs, 2 strikeouts. Top of the 4th. No score. No one on. And here's Ernie Banks. Banks is 0 for 1. He just missed a home run. Got under the ball a bit. He flew out to main left. Banks ready to grip and rip. Here's the pitch for McDowell to Mr. Cub, Ernie Banks, and that is a 4-4 off the McDowell card, 4-4. And that's a fly ball to center field in Cardinal. And that is a 10. Cardinal has a beat on it. He's racing towards it. He's going to make a dive. And that's a 5-4-1, and that's a 10. And Cardinal makes the diving catch to end the side in the top of the 4th, robbing Ernie Banks of extra bases as he makes the diving catch right center field. Banks tried to burn him to the gap. Cardinal makes a web gem. So we go to the bottom of the 4th, no score. And here comes the man who made the fabulous catch, the top of the order, Jose Cardinal, and then Vic Davalillo and Lee May. Cardinal's 0 for 1. Hand readies himself. He takes a deep breath. Here's the pitch to Cardinal, and it is a 2-6. Not a column of choice, though. Off his card, Cardinal, but not a column of choice. 2-6. And he works a walk. Hands wanted the call. Hutley wanted the call. They didn't get the call. And Cardinal, an excellent base runner, is on first. 70% chance of stealing, even though he's being held on by Mr. Cubs, Ernie Banks. 1 through 17 base runner. Santo in at third. Banks holding on Cardinal. Once the pitch is delivered, he'll bounce off the bag and move towards the plate. And Davalillo is going to be swinging away with no outs. I thought they might bunt him over. Here's the pitch to the left-handed batting right fielder, Vic Davalillo. Can he do some damage? That's a 5-6, and it's a column of choice. Off the hands card, 5-6. He's going to get a good pitch to look at. And he gets a base hit here. And that's a single. A 1 would have been a triple, but it's a 5. So that's a single. And will Cardinal go first to third? That's the question. Hit the right field. And Cardinal does go first to third on the ball hit to right field. So runners on the corners, no outs. And here's Lee May. And we're not playing the infield in. That's asinine. Every time they do that, the guy hits the ball, what would have been a double play ball, will give up the run to get 2. So let's play normal. So Cardinals at third. A ground ball will score him most likely, and unless it's hit right back at the pitcher. Davalillo's at first, and he might be stealing. He's not stealing, so here's the pitch to May. May's looking for the 1-5. Hands looking to induce a double play ball. Here's the pitch to Lee May, and Hands deals him a 5-9, and it's a column of choice for Lee May, 5-9. Can May drive in a run here? Again, he's going to get a good pitch to Grip and Rip. 5-9. It's a double play ball. Beckert at second to Kissinger, back to Banks. We get 2 for 1. The run does score. It's not an RBI, though, so it's 1-0 Indians. And why I played the infield back at normal is exactly that. Had we had the infield in, odds are that ball is by the second baseman, and what turns, instead of giving up 1 run and getting 2 outs, you have a chance for a big inning. Again, Strat-O-Matic, they do have some issues with their strategy. You shouldn't be playing your infield in the bottom of the 4th. I get it. It's 1968. There are a lot of pitchers' duels, but that's just asinine. And in an earlier game, I listened to it. I said I shouldn't do it, but I'll listen, and bam, what would have been a double play ball, big inning. Here's Tony Horton, 2 outs, bases empty. Cleveland does have a 1-0 lead, as Cardinal scored on the double play ball, hit to Beckert, as that went Beckert to Kissinger to Banks. Horton 0 for 1, looking for the 2-5 column. Hands rocks and delivers to Tony Horton, and the former Red Sox gets a 2-9 column of choice for Tony. So he's going to see a good pitch to look at. 2-9 to Tony Horton. 2 outs, bases empty, 1-0 Cleveland. And Horton drives this ball deep. And that's an 18. And that's going to burn the outfielder. And that's going to be a double, as Adolfo Phillips will not get to that ball. Neither will Billy Williams. It splits both of them and rolls to the wall. So a 2-out double. And now bring up Duke Sims, the catcher. He's 0 for 1. So once again, had we had played the infield in, it would now be a huge inning. But we still have an opportunity to keep it a 1-run deficit. On deck is Vern Fuller. Sims, left-handed batter. He awaits the hands offering. Here's the pitch. And Sims is dealt a 4-3 off the hands card. Not a column of choice, though. Can the Cubbies get out of this with just a 1-run deficit? That is a 4-3. What will it be? We shall see, as I like to say. And that'll be a ground ball to Mr. Cub, Ernie Banks. Looking for a high roll, and that's a 16. Banks will backhand the ball and throw to Hands covering. Will he make the throw? 5-4-1. That is a 10. And he just makes the throw as Hands leaps a little high but comes down on the bag. Side is retired. The Indians do get on the board as Cardinal scored on the double play ball. We go to the top of the 5th, 1-0 Indians. One of these teams will advance to the Final Four. This is the last Elite Eight game of the 68 one-and-done playoff tournament. Due up for the Cubs, Hickman, Huntley, and Adolfo Phillips. Hickman walked his first time up. He really wants that 2 column. And here's the pitch from McDowell. And Hickman does not get the 2. He gets the 5. And this is off the McDowell card. It's going to be a 5-6. Can he fend off this pitch? He shall not, as that's a strikeout, swing and a miss. Another fastball blown by a Cub hitter. So 1 out, no one on. Here is Randy Huntley. He's 1 for 1 with a double. The Cubs had threatened that inning as Hickman had walked. Huntley has doubled, but they couldn't bring a run across home plate. Huntley's looking for the 6-4 column. Sims sets the target. Here's the pitcher, his counterpart, the Cub catcher Huntley, and McDowell deals Huntley a 3-7 off the Huntley card. Not a column of choice, though. 3-7. And he'll hit the ball hard and right at Fuller at second. Oh, bad luck there. So Huntley's hit the ball hard twice, once a double, and now a line out to second. 2 outs, base is empty for Adolfo Phillips. He's 0 for 1. He's looking for the 2-6 column. McDowell, the windup and the pitch. And Adolfo Phillips gets a 1-8. 1-8 off his card. And that's a ground ball to Larry Brown. He throws to Horton. Side retired. It's been quite a pitcher's duel as we head to the bottom of the 5th. 1-0 Indians. Due up for the Tribe, Fuller, Alvis, and Brown to face. You're in good hands with Bill Hands, who's back out on the mound for the Chicago Cubs. Fuller's 0 for 1. Here's the pitch to Fuller, looking for the 1-5. He gets instead the 6 and a 9. So this is off the Hands card, 6-9. And that's a strikeout. Swing and a miss as he chases high cheese. 1 down. Max Alvis, the third baseman, comes to the plate, right-hander. He's 0 for 1. Hand looks in. Nods his head. Huntley sets the target. Here's the pitch to Max Alvis. And that's a 6-9. Again, off the Hands card, 6-9. And again, it's a strikeout, swing and a miss. Hands has struck out his first 2 batters, and they've come back-to-back with Fuller and Alvis. Can he strike out the side now? As here's Larry Brown, the shortstop's 0 for 1. Brown did have 6 home runs with a .234 batting average in 68. He awaits the Hands offering, and here's the pitch to Brown, and that is a 6-8. Again, the 6 column off the Hands card, 6-8. Will the Indians go 1-2-3? Yes, they will. Ground ball to Santo. He fires the Banks. Side retired. We go to the top of the 6th, 1-0 Indians. Quite a pitcher's duel here in Cleveland. McDowell back out on the mound. He's gone 5 innings for the Indians. 1 hit, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. He'll face his counterpart, Bill Hands. Here's the pitch to Hands from McDowell, and that is a 4-11 off the McDowell card. 4-11. This could be trouble. As he hits the ball hard, as Hands was watching for the curveball, he was sitting on it. 1-16, it's a hit, and Hands embarrasses McDowell as he hits a single to lead off the top of the 6th as he was sitting on the curveball, and he lines that shot right back up the middle. So Hands is at first. Here comes the top of the order, Don Kessinger. He's an A bunter, and he's going to be dropping 1 down to get Hands into scoring position. Corners are in. Here's the pitch, 86% chance of a good bunt. He puts it down. Alvis fields it. His only play is to Horton at first. 1 away, but Hands moves into second base. He is the tying run. And it could be decision time. Do we put in a faster runner? No. We're not. Oh, God. Who do we have here? Let's check this out here. What do we have for team speed? Savage is 1-14. 1-12 is 9. Boca Bella, he's our backup catcher. He will not go in. Plus, he's only an 11. Arcia, 1-15. And he's our super utility guy. Spangler, 1-13. Smith hits right-handed pitching with devastation. He's a 9R, 1-12. Johnson, 1-15. He plays right and left. Beckert, Williams, Santo. We're going to keep Hands in the game. So here comes Glenn Beckert. He's a B bunter. Corners are playing back. Beckert looking for the 1-6 column. He did, in this situation, he bats .294. As you can see, that changes. Because he did bat .294. I'm sorry. So he did bat .294 in the year. So he's got the green light to grip and rip. The windup and the pitch from McDowell to Beckert. And it's a 3-8 off the Beckert card. Not a column of choice, though. Can he at least hit it to the right side and move Hands over to third? So that's a 3-8 for Beckert. Ground ball to short. Brown fields it behind the second base bag. Throws to Horton for out number 2. Hand stays put at second. And here comes Billy Williams. Williams needs to drive this ball to the gap or out of the ballpark. 1-0 Cleveland. Billy Williams looking for the 2-1 column. Here's the pitch of the sweet swinging Billy Williams. And McDowell deals Billy Williams a 3-8 off the Williams card. Not a column of choice, though. Hands will be off on contact with 2 outs. He represents the tying run at second. And it's a hard hit ball right back up the middle. McDowell snares it and throws to first. And Tony Horton side retired. So McDowell robs Billy Williams of a hit up the middle. And we go to the bottom of the 6th, still 1-0 Cubs, 1-0 Indians, excuse me. And there's the man who just robbed the base hit, the pitcher, Sam McDowell. He'll be followed by Jose Cardinal and Vic Davalillo. McDowell's 0 for 1, looking for revenge against his counterpart, who singled off of him. Hands deals to McDowell, and that is triple snake eyes, as that's a 1-2. We don't even have to do anything. 1-2, hit select. And he hits the ball right back to Hands, who throws to Ernie Banks for 1 away. Jose Cardinal comes to plate. Leadoff batter, 0 for 1 with a run scored. He scored on the double play ball. Here's the pitch to Cardinal. You want to keep him off the base paths. He's very dangerous. And that's a 2-8. 2-8 off the Cardinal card. And that's going to be a single as he puts it past the dive of Kessinger into left field. Very dangerous base runner. Will he attempt to steal? He will not. Here's the pitch to Vic Davalillo, looking for the 1-5. Instead, it is a 2 column and a 6. So this is off the Davalillo card, 2-6. Will it be another double play ball? It will not. Ground ball to Kessinger, and he'll step on the bag, but a hard slide by Cardinal prevents the return throw to first. Inning stays alive for Lee May. Now Davalillo's at first. He's no slouch. He's another good base runner, 1 through 17. 60% chance of stealing second. May is 0 for 2. Left-handed batter. Davalillo off on contact. Hands, rocks, and fires to May, and that is a 5-7 to Lee May. And it's a column of choice. So May's going to get a good pitch to look at. 5-7. It's going to be a lucky 7 for somebody. And it's not for Lee May, as that's a swing and a miss. Strike 3, side retire. The pitcher duel continues. We go to the top of the 7th, 1-0 Indians. Due up for the Cubs, Santo, Ernie Banks, and Jim Hickman. Ron Santo had 26 home runs in 68. Looking to tie it up with 1 swing of the bat, the right-handed batting third baseman. Here's the pitch to Santo for McDowell, and that is a 1-6. Not a column of choice, though. 1-6. Will he fight off this pitch? He shall not. Swing and a miss on the off speed. Way out in front of it. 1 down, and that is McDowell's 7th strikeout. Here's Ernie Banks. He just missed a home run. Just got under a pitch that May caught right in front of the wall. He's 0 for 2. He's looking for the 2-6 column. He really wants that 2 column. A lot of power on that 2 column. Here's the pitch to Mr. Cubs, Ernie Banks. And he gets a 3 column and an 11. Still some hope. So that's a 3 and 11. And they pitch very carefully to Banks. Nibbled a little too much. They didn't challenge him, and that's a walk. Banks, tying run at first. 90% chance of stealing second. We got to go for that. 1 through 18, he's safe, but he only has a 3% chance of getting the proper lead, so he's probably not going to get the lead. He can't get the lead. He'll stay put. So 1 out, and Hickman comes up. He's 0 for 1 with a walk. Hickman also wants that 2 column. And that pitch gets by Sims. The curveball only goes 58 feet, and Banks gets the second anyway. The tying runs in scoring position. Ernie Banks, a very slow runner, 1 through 9. But we're not taking him out of the ball game. So here's the pitch to Hickman. And he wants that 2 column. Can Hickman be a hero? Here's the windup and the pitch for McDowell. And it's a 4 and a 6 off the McDowell card. 1 out. Banks the tying run at second. 4-6. And that's a swing and a miss. Strike 3 on the fastball outside corner. Sam McDowell's 8th K. And here comes Randy Huntley. Huntley, 1 for 2. He has hit the ball hard. The first time he doubled. The second time he lined out. He lined out to Vic Fuller. In the chat, we have William Fergazzi and Itinerant Hobbyist. Check out that wonderful channel. He's replaying. When I say playing, I'm not making light of military stuff. He's doing a military replay of Market's Garden, which, if you saw the movie or read the book, it's a bridge too far. You know, the disaster that Montgomery came up with. And it's really interesting because it's a huge table he has, and it's fun. I watched a little bit of it, I think it was a couple of days ago, and it was a lot of fun. He was going through some rules, though, because it was that the first time you were playing that game, I believe? But it was fun. I enjoy watching him and Devin, the original Grognard. So check out those two channels. They're also part of our community. So, Itinerant Hobbyist and the original Grognard. As the Itinerant Hobbyist says, love tournaments. I do too. So Ernie Banks represents a tying run at second. Huntley, 2 outs, 1 for 2 with a double. Here's the pitch to Huntley, and McDowell deals Huntley a 4-10 off the McDowell card. 4-10 with a Cubs strand another runner in scoring position. They shall, as at strikeout number 9 looking, side retired. Trivia. Oh, nuts. I hit the. All right. So, Budalio Diaz's nickname was Bo. Oh, Bo Diaz. He came up with the Red Sox, was a catcher, would eventually play for the Indians and some other teams. And here we go. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever go back for it's root, root, root for your home team. If they lose, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Sip of coffee. Let's go to William Fergazzi in the chat. He says, Al, that was a brutal game tonight. Sale. Yes, it was. See, I didn't mention it, William. I know you're a Yankee fan, but Red Sox won in real life 11-0, and Sales made the vaunted New York lineup look like little leaguers. As William Fergazzi says, Al, that was a brutal game tonight. Sale has the Yankees numbers. Sorry your Red Sox lost in the tournament, but now you can take my Yanks all the way. I will be managing the Yankees, and that's awesome. Yeah, we had one bad inning in that game this morning. One bad inning, and we lost. And it was because we still would have lost, don't get me wrong, but it wouldn't have been 5-1. It would have been about 2-1. If you weren't here earlier, in the Red Sox game this morning, before I had to run errands and then I didn't feel good after, we played the infield in early. And Santiago got out of a couple of jams, and I wasn't going to play the infield in, but the computer will recommend something. I went, okay, I'll go with it. And what would have been a double play ball in only 1 run was a base hit and opened up a big inning. So in this game earlier today, I don't like to play the infield in early. I think it's asinine. Again, the computer coach says, oh, play the infield in. I said, no, we played it back. We gave up the 1 run, but we got the double play ball. Unfortunately, I'm managing the Cubs. We haven't scored yet. And now, the bottom of the 7th. And due up for the Indians, Horton, Sims, and Fuller to face Bill Hands. Hands has gone 6 innings, 3 hits. He's only given up 1 run. He's walked 1, struck out 3. Here's the pitch to Tony Horton, who is 1 for 2 with a double. And it is a 6-6 to Tony Horton. Off the Hands card, 6-6. Route 66, get your kicks. And Horton gets a second hit as he kicks that ball right up the middle for a single. So he's had Bill Hands' number. So Horton's at first. Ernie Banks holding him on. Here's Duke Sims. He's 0 for 2. Sims a D bunter. He's not going to be bunting. Hands deals to the left-handed batting catcher. Sims looking for a 3-5. He gets a 6 column and a 2. Can this be a double play ball? 6-2, we shall see. Nope, that ball is driven deep. 1 through 9, it's a 3-0 ball game, and it's a 12. So that's going to stay in the ballpark just barely. As Duke Sims drives that ball deep to right, Hickman races back, leaps and crashes into the wall, makes the catch. Horton rushes back to first. He thinks about tagging, but stays put. What a catch by Hickman in right. Robbing extra bases from Duke Sims. 1 out, 1 on. Vern Fuller, the second baseman, 0 for 2. Hands trying to induce the double play ball. He kicks and fires to Fuller. And Fuller is dealt a 4-7 off the hands card. 4-7. Strikeout. Looking. Curveball. Can't pull the trigger. So there's 2 down. And Fuller's muttering to himself as he walks back to the bench. That's strikeout number 4 for Bill Hands. Horton will be off on contact with 2 outs. 1-0 Cleveland. That's a huge run at first base. And the Indians want to knock it in, and the Cubs want it to stay right where it's at. Max Alvis 0 for 2. Alvis looking for the 2-5 column. Hands, rocks, and fires. And Alvis is dealt a 1-3. A 1-3. What will it be? We shall see on the 1-3. And what that will be, most likely, is a hit. And that's a 7, so I do believe, with all those strange symbols, that's a single. That's a single right back up the middle. And Horton will be held at second. Not the most speediest runner. So 2 outs, 2 on. Both runners off on contact. And here's the shortstop, Larry Brown, on deck as Sam McDowell. 1-0 Indians. Hands takes a deep breath. Here's the pitch to Larry Brown. And that is a 4-7 to Brown. 4-7 off the hands card. 4-7. And that will be strike 3. Swing and a miss on the curveball. Did you see the break on that? Side retired. Hands. And McDowell, what a pitcher's duel here. And McDowell is just slightly outdueling Bill Hands. We go to the top of the 8th, still 1-0 Cleveland. The winner goes to the Final Four. And due up for the Cubs, Adolfo Phillips, Bill Hands, and we're going to have to go with a pinch hitter now. And in the top of the order, Kissinger. So Adolfo Phillips is 0 for 2. McDowell's gone 7 innings, 2 hits, 2 walks, no runs. He struck out 9. Phillips looking for something that he can grip and rip. He had 13 home runs. Here's the pitch to Adolfo Phillips from Sam McDowell, and that's a 5-7 off the McDowell card. 5-7. And Adolfo Phillips will hit this ball hard towards second base. And it's a 4. And that's going to get past the dive of Fuller into the outfield. Let's see if the return throw has an error. 6-4-1 is an 11. No error. So Adolfo Phillips singles to right. And he represents the tying run. And now we can keep Bill Hands in the game because he's going to sacrifice bunt. And off this pitcher's card, these are not, if in the 68th season they actually have the pitcher's batting stats, but when you play a tournament for some reason, they don't, even though they're all 1968 teams, they don't use the pitcher stats. So off this pitcher's card for hitting, he's an A bunter. I like that a lot. So he's going to try to lay down a bunt. And Phillips, an excellent base runner, 1 through 17. Here comes a sacrifice bunt. 86% chance of a successful bunt. Here's the pitch. Hands squares. He puts it down. And he has a chance. Defense has the option throwing for the runner. Aw, nuts. Am I managing both teams? Well, the good news is it's a pitcher's duel. I really didn't have to do much of anything. So let's read this out. Unfortunately, I think I'm managing both teams. All right, defense has the option for throwing the runner trying for second base, taking the sure out at first. Ball hit to third, so Alvis comes in to get the ball. Safe chance once we gotta get the first. We're not gonna throw to second because it's. I mean, even though I'm managing the Cubs, the safe chance is 1 through 15. That's 75% chance of being safe. So we're gonna throw for the sure out at first, and Phillips is at second base with 1 out. And now let's go to game preferences and click on Cleveland. I think they would have went for the sure out at first anyway. 75% chance for the safe call at second. You're not going to take that risk and have 2 on and no outs. All right, so now Strat is in charge of the Indians. And here comes Don Kessinger, the leadoff batter. He is 0 for 2. On deck is Beckert. Phillips, excellent speed. 1 through 17. Another reason why you wouldn't throw to second. Kessinger, 0 for 2, and he hits lefties. McDowell's a lefty, as we know, but he's 0 for 2. Kessinger, chance to be a hero here. 1 out, tying run at second. The windup and the pitch for McDowell. And Kessinger is dealt a 5-10. And it's off the McDowell card. 5-10. Ground ball to short. Larry Brown. 1 through 4 is a base hit, and it's a 17, so Brown fields that ball smoothly, and he'll throw to Horton at first. Will it be a good throw? And that's a 3-2-3. So that is an 8, and that will be out number 2. Phillips stays put at second. Ground ball. Offense must decide to send or hold the runner. Oh, wow, we can send the runner. 80% chance advance. As they throw to first anyway, like I said. And Phillips advances to third. Good job of base running by the speedy Adolfo Phillips. And here comes the second baseman, Glenn Beckert. He batted, in this situation, he does not bat well, 217. So he batted 294 overall, but in this situation, he only bats 217. He's the second baseman. We need to knock this run in. There's 2 outs. 1-0 ball game, Cleveland. Savage, 209. Johnson. Well, there's really nothing better on the bench. I mean, I could bring Johnson in. He batted overall 244. I don't know if he hits, if we put him in that situation, he hits like 190 in that situation. We're going to stick with Beckert. He's a B bunter. On deck, Billy Williams. Phillips at third. The tying run 90 feet away. The windup and the pitch for McDowell to Beckert. And it is a 5-7 off the McDowell card. 5-7. Well, the Cubs strand another runner. Ground ball to second. There's still hope. 1 through 4. Can Fuller make the play? And there's a 4, but there's a 1 in front of it, and that's a 14. So Fuller will make the play. Now can he make the throw to first to Tony Horton? And that is a 5-4-2. So that's an 11. And the side is retired as Fuller throws to Horton. Phillips is stranded at third. The Cubs threaten, but once again do not score. We go to the bottom of the 8th, and it's still 1-0. Due up for the Indians, McDowell, Cardenas, and Davalillo. McDowell's 0 for 2. Here's the pitch from Hands to his counterpart. And McDowell gets a 2-3. This will be an out. 2-3. What will it be? It's going to be... Oh, my Lord, it's a single. Wow, so McDowell, I thought for sure it's an out. And McDowell gets revenge. Hands singled off him. And McDowell now singles off Hands. You don't want that. Corners play in for Jose Cardinal now. Will Cardinal be bunting? He squares the bunt. Corners in. And he fouls it off. So will they bunt with 2 strikes? No, they will not. Can Hands induce a double play ball? Cardinal very speedy at the plate, the right-handed batter. Here's the pitch to Jose Cardinal. I think I called him Cardenas by accident. And that is a 6-8. Off the Hands card, 6-8. Will it be 2? It will not. As Santo goes to Kissinger to get the force out of McDowell. So 1 out, and Cardinal trades places McDowell. Cardinal 1 through 17 base run. Here comes Vic Davalillo. And he's ready to grip and rip. Here's the pitch to the left-handed batting right fielder. And Davalillo is dealt a 6-11 off the Hands card. Oh, it's a hit and run. Oh, boy. So that's a 6. And the 11. So it's a hit and run. And that's a fly ball to right. Hickman makes the catch. Will he fire to first? He does, but Cardinal gets back. 2 outs on the failed hit and run. So Cardinal will be off on contact. 1-0, 2 outs, bottom of the 8th. Here's Lee May. He's 0 for 3. And they're going to... Cardinal gets the jump. 1 through 14, he's safe. We're going to throw for the runner. 5% chance of an error, but we're going to take that chance. We need a 15 or better. Hutley throws, and he guns him out with a 17, applying the tag as Kissinger. Side is retired. What a throw by Hutley. We go to the top of the 9th in this pitcher's duel. 1-0 Indians. What a ball game it's been. If you like pitcher's duel, this was the right ball game to buy a ticket to. McDowell looking for the complete game 1-0 shutout. He has gone 8 innings, 3 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 9 Ks. He will face the heart of the Cubs order. The sweet swinging Billy Williams, Ron Santo, and Mr. Cub, Ernie Banks. A lot of tension here in Cleveland. Billy Williams 0 for 3. Williams wants that 2 column. McDowell rocks and fires. Williams won't get the 2 column. He gets the 4, and it's a 4-11 off the McDowell card. 4-11. And he works a walk, though. Tying run at first base. Billy Williams, 1 through 14 base runner. Here's Ron Santo. And Santo, if he homers, the Cubs have a 2-1 lead. And the new catcher is Azuku. Azcue. I have no clue how to pronounce that guy's name. I think it's Azcue. Come on, Clinton Parks. How do you pronounce that name? So he's the new catcher. He has a -2 arm. Here's the pitch to Santo. He represents the go-ahead run at the plate, the tying run at first. The McDowell deals to Ron Santo, and it's a 2. Boy, we wanted that for Billy Williams. As Santo wants a 3-6, he gets a 2 and a 10. So it's a 2-10 off the Ron Santo card. And this could be a hit. 1 through 16 is a single. And it's a 16. Ron Santo comes through in the clutch. And he singles. He fights off that fastball. So here come the Cubs. As that's up the middle. And Billy Williams is held up at second. So a walk and a single. And Sam McDowell is in trouble once again. Can the Cubs finally push some runs across the board? As Clinton Parks says, love pitchers duels. You know that. Absolutely, Clinton. All right, here comes Mr. Cubs, Ernie Banks. He came up huge in their Sweet 16 game. Can he do it again? He did it late in the prior game. And the Cubs fans are hoping he did it before and he can do it again. Corners are in, which is asinine. We're not bunting with... He is an A bunter, but Hickman is on deck. Ernie Banks will swing away. Here's the pitch to Mr. Cub. And Ernie Banks gets a 5-11. 5-11 off the McDowell card. And that's a fly ball to left field. Oh my lord, Lee May has horrible range. 1 through 11 is a hit. And it's a 10! Ernie Banks does it again. That's a single. The runners advance 2 bases. Let's see if there's any type of throwing error now. Unbelievable. Mr. Cubs, Ernie Banks does it again, and that is a 14. And there's a 2-base throwing error. The Cubs will take the lead. Ernie Banks will be at third. Unbelievable. McDowell is now tired. Holy cow. The Cubs take a 2-1 lead. Banks is at third base. No outs. The hand of God has just come down and smacked McDowell as Ernie Banks singled. 1 run would have definitely scored as it was a single advancing the runners 2 bases. So it would have been a 1-1 game with the tying run at third, but the throw in gets away from the middle infielder, and Banks advances to third on the 2-base throwing error as it got away. Such a bad throw. Wow. So here comes Jim Hickman. Hickman's 0 for 2 with a walk, and there goes Sam McDowell, who now, after pitching a beautiful game, is in line for the loss. Unbelievable, folks. The Cubbies could be advancing to the Final Four. And in the game for Cleveland is Vicente Romo. And Vicente Romo, in 68, 5 wins, 3 losses, 12 saves, striking out 54, walking 32. So he has some slight control issues there. Again, the ERA is excellent, 1.62 though. And he's only given up 5 home runs. He is a right-handed batter. Hickman, again, does better against lefties. Let's go to the bench, and now we can go to, as Romo is a righty and tough on righties, and we have W. Smith. I think it's William Smith, Will Smith. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, I don't know. And he's a lefty, and he's a 9R. Guess who's coming in to pinch hit? For Hickman is Mr. Smith. So Mr. Smith goes to the plate, and it's Willie Smith. So here's Willie Smith, and he devastates right-handed pitching. Overall, he batted .275 with 5 home runs and 25 ribbies. Moment of truth here. For the Cubs and the Indians. Infield playing in. Smith looking for the 3-6 column. The windup and the pitch from Vicente Romo. And it's a 4 and a 9. 4-9 to Willie Smith. And that's a ground ball to short. This could be a hit because the infield's in. And that's a 15. And I don't think it's a hit because it's a G1. So I think they'll throw Willie Smith out at first if Brown can make the throw to Horton now. And that's a 3-3-1, so that's a 7. And I believe the runner stays put at third as Brown will throw to first for the first out of the inning. And here comes Randy Huntley, the catcher. So Willie Smith cannot get the JOB done. That's a huge insurance run at third base, Ernie Banks. It's 2-1 Cubs. They have just taken the lead in this unbelievable pitchers duel. And here comes Huntley, the catcher, 1 for 3 with a double. And he hits right-handed pitching pretty well, 4R. Vicente Romo deals very well with right-handed batters who will win this skirmish. It's a skirmish that Romo must win. Banks is at third, 1 out. Here's the pitch to Huntley. Huntley's looking for the 1-2 column. He gets the 2 and a 7. So Huntley's going to get a pitch to grip and rip at 2-7 for Randy Huntley. Can the Cubs add to their lead? 1 through 6 they shall. Huntley hits the ball hard once again, and it's a 19. So this will be a hard line out to Brown. And that's out number 2. Wow, that was a self-defense for Brown. That was a rocket off the Huntley bat. And the infield will now go back to normal. So 2 outs, and here's Adolfo Phillips. He's 1 for 3. Hands is on deck, the pitcher. Here's the pitch to Adolfo Phillips. 2-1 Cubs, and here in the top of the 9th. Romo rocks and delivers, and Phillips is dealt a 4-8 off the Romo card. 4-8. Ground ball to Alvis. He throws to Horton. Side retired. But the Cubs get 2 on the Ernie Banks single to left, and then a throwing error by May. It would have been a tie ball game anyway, but the throwing error lets the go-ahead run score, and Banks is stranded at third. So we go to the bottom of the 9th, and the Cubs are 3 outs away from punching their ticket to the Final Four. And the Indians fans who felt anxious throughout this whole game had good reasons why, because now they're losing, and now we need a new right fielder. And our new right fielder, really, he plays left. Billy Williams. Billy Williams can play right. So Billy Williams will move to right. And Willie Smith will move to left. He's a +2 arm. Do we have anyone with a better arm? Spangler. Spangler can play right. Actually, we'll put Spangler in right because his arm is neutral. So Spangler will come in to play right, as we just need 3 outs and we advance. Now the question is, do we let Bill Hands continue to pitch? The Cubs bullpen is pretty bad. A lot of these guys went the distance because they don't have a lot of guys with saves here. And they really don't have a lot of guys in their bullpen with low ERAs either. So the ball is in the good hands of Billy Hands. So here's Bill Hands looking for the complete game victory. He was in line for the tough luck loss as he trailed 1-0. He's given up a run, and it's not earned. Well, no, it's earned, but there's no RBI with it. So it's 2-1, thanks to Ernie Banks. Mr. Cubs comes through again late in the ball game. He did it in the Sweet 16 game. Now he's done it in the Elite 8. And the Cubs are 3 outs away from punching their ticket to the Final Four. And they'll have to get through May, Horton, and Askew. May is 0 for 3. Here's the pitch from Bill Hands, and May is dealt a 5-8, and it's a column of choice for Lee May. Can he finally come through? He butchered the ball after the single in left. He has to make amends for it. It's a 5-8 column of that's a 5-5. 5-8 column of choice. And that's a fly ball to center. Adolfo Phillips racing back and makes the catch in front of the warning track. 1 away. The Cubs 2 outs away from punching the ticket. Here comes Tony Horton. He has owned Mr. Hands. He's 2 for 3 with a double. Horton wants that 2 column. 3 columns not bad either. And that 5 column off the Hands card, which we've pretty much stayed off of, not good. The windup and the pitch to Horton. Hands deals Horton. And just as I said, oh, it's a 6. Good. So that's a 6-11. Off the Hands card, 6-11. 1 out, no one on, bottom of the 9th. And Horton will have an opportunity for a single here. And that's a 19. And I believe he will be out. There's all these strange, there's this single slash, and there's that little sign there. I think this is an out. That's a high roll. I believe he will ground out. He lines out to Kessinger, who makes a diving catch up the middle, 2 down, robbing Tony Horton of a hit. So now the Indians, who were looking good until the top of the ninth, winning 1-0, and McDowell cruising along, are down to their backup catcher, Joe Askew. And let's just take a look at his card. Actually, not bad. 280, 4 home runs, 42 ribbies. So he has a good chance of extending the game. On deck, Vern Fuller. Hands takes a deep breath, looks in at Huntley. Nods his head. Huntley sets the target. The windup and the pitch to Askew. And it's a 2-12, and it's a column of choice for Joe. Can he keep hope alive for the Indians? 2-12. Or the ball game will be over. And he does. That's a walk. That's a walk. And here's Vern Fuller as the Cubs quickly get bullpen action. They had bullpen action up already, but they're warming a little faster. Pitching coach and the catcher go out to the mound, stalling for time. And here's Vern Fuller. He's 0 for 3 off hands. Hands has gone 8 2/3 innings. Askew the tying run at first. He's given up 6 hits, 2 walks, struck out 5, 1 run. Ferguson Jenkins could come in for 1 batter. Taking a big risk doing that, though. Jenkins, if the Cubs get to the championship game, will pitch the championship game. He possibly could even pitch in the Final Four because it's a 4-man pitching rotation. That means they went on 3 days rest. Got to win this game. I mean, look at these ERAs. 4.3s, 4, 3.8. That's almost a 4. 4.17, 5.40, 6.7. These guys stink. I mean, if I was going to do it, I'd bring in Jenkins, but that's a risk because he doesn't pitch out of the pen. You can do it in the game, it's just a risk. Fuller's 0 for 3. Hands will go after Fuller, and he will not face Fuller. Here comes Lou Johnson, the former Milwaukee Brave. Lou Johnson batted .257, 5 homers and 23 ribbies. Johnson hits lefties better than righties. He's a 1L. And Hands is a righty, and he pitches equally as well to righties and lefties. So Johnson's in the game, 2 outs. Hands looking for that final out to punch the Cubs' ticket to the Final Four. The windup and the pitch to Lou Johnson. And it is a 1-8. Off the Johnson card, not a column of choice. Will he fight off this pitch and keep the inning, game, and tournament alive for the Indians? We shall see. He's jammed. It's a pop up to short to Kessinger. Kessinger waits for the ball to come down near the second base bag. He catches it. Ball game over. The Cubs, in miraculous fashion, scored 2 in the top of the ninth, thanks to Mr. Cub himself, Ernie Banks, and a throwing error by May. And they're going to the Final Four, and this crowd in Cleveland is in stunned silence. The Cubs win 2-1. Bill Hands picks up the win. Sam McDowell picks up the loss, and we thought it was going to be Hands the tough luck loser. Instead, it turns out to be McDowell the tough luck loser. What a ball game. So the Final Four is set. Let's go to the box score. Yeah, let's make that bigger. Wow. Glad I played the game. That was fun. Tournament's been really fun. Okay, how do we do this? Fit the screen. There we go. But before we do that, as always, let's thank the wonderful people in the chat. As Clinton Park says, Cubs win! Cubs win! William Fergazzi says, good night, all. Enjoy the rest of the game. So William checked out a little while ago. Thank you to Clinton Parks. Check out his wonderful channel. National Pastime 3 1965 replay. Thank you to William Fergazzi, good friend of the channel. D. Scott Howard joined us. Thank you to D. Scott. Itinerary Hobbyist, thank you. Check out that channel for military strategy. I'm going to be bringing a little military strategy to the channel here too, and you can watch me butcher things. I played the Zulu Dawn game. We did quite well with that one. We're going to be coming back with a couple more of those. I'm going to play on harder, the hardest setting, and then I'll also play from the Zulu's perspective. And there's just like three, four ways you can play the game. So we'll throw that back up there. Some World War II sims will be coming in the future. And so Clinton Parks, William Fergazzi, and Itinerary Hobbyist, and D. Scott Howard, thank you very much, gentlemen. So the Cubs advance in a thriller, a pitcher's duel. It was a very exciting game. They win 2-1, scoring 2 in the top of the ninth. Thanks to Billy Williams. Player of the game is Bill Hands. He went 9 innings, 6 hits, 1 run. It was earned. Walked 2, struck out 5. Tough luck loser for the Indians, Sam McDowell. He went 8 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs. Only 1 was earned due to a throwing error. 3 walks, struck out 9. Vicente Romo had to come in the top of the ninth and get the final 3 outs, and he was perfect. For the Cubs in victory, they had 5 hits. Kissinger, 0 for 3. Becker, 0 for 4. Billy Williams, 0 for 3 with a run scored. He did walk in the top of the ninth, and Santos singled to get his only hit, 1 for 4. He scored a run. They scored on the Ernie Banks single. Billy Williams scored legitimately, and Santos scored on the error, which helped Ernie Banks advance to third. He was stranded there, though. Hickman, 0 for 2. Willie Smith, 0 for 1, the pinch hitter. Spangler came in to play right field. Did not bat. Hutley, the catcher, 1 for 4. Phillips, the center fielder, 1 for 4. And Hands, the pitcher, 1 for 2. The Cubs in victory. They've advanced to the Final Four now. 30 at-bats, 2 runs, 5 hits, 1 ribby. For the Indians, Cardinal, 1 for 3 with a run scored. Davalillo, 1 for 4. May, awful day, 0 for 4, and the throwing error that cost the Indians the game. Horton, 2 for 4. Duke Sims, 0 for 3. Askew came in to catch, and he walked in his only at-bat. No official at-bat for him. Fuller, 0 for 3. The pinch hitter, Lou Johnson, who made the final out, popping out to Kessinger at short, 0 for 1. Alvis, 1 for 3. Brown, 0 for 3. McDowell, the pitcher, 1 for 3. And Vicente Romo pitched, did not hit. The Indians, in defeat, 31 at-bats, 1 run, 6 hits, no ribbies, as the run scored on a double play ball. How big was that to play the infield back and take the double play and not have a big inning? I wish I did that with the Red Sox in the earlier game today, but I listened to the bench coach and the strategy of Strat. Why? I don't know, because I normally don't like to play the infield in early in a game. So, player of the game, the winning pitcher, Bill Hands. Again, 9 innings, 6 hits, 1 run. It was earned. Walked 2, struck out 5. Honorable mention, Ernie Banks knocked in the tying run. The go-ahead run would score on a throwing error. So, the Final Four is set. The Cubs are there. And if you bear with me a moment, I'll give you the Final Four matchups. I'm assuming anyone watching here knows who won the other games. And so let's give you the Final Four matchups, as we'll have 3 more games to play. 2 Final Four games in the championship game. Go to Open Tournament. 68 one and done. And now, so in the second round, the White Sox shocked the number 13 White Sox, who won the play-in game, shocked the number 1 seeded Detroit Tigers. They beat them, and quite handily. Then the Yankees, so then it looked like it was wide open for the Cardinals, the number 2 seed, and the Yankees upset the Cardinals, so I got 2 wins there with upsets. But then I was managing my beloved Boston Red Sox, who fell to defeat to the number 3. So the number 3 Orioles beat the Red Sox 5-1 this morning, and they got all 5 runs in that bottom of the third. The 1 run was Reggie Smith homering with 2 outs in the top of the ninth. So that's the 3 seed advancing. They're the highest seed left. And then, as we just witnessed, the Cubs come back and defeat Cleveland in the 6-5 game, the Cubs being the 6th seed, the Indians the 5 seed, 2-1 in a thriller. So now, let's check out round 3, which is the final 4. And it's going to be the Orioles, the number 3 seed, taking on the surprise of the tournament, the Pale Hose, the White Sox, the 13 seed. I'll be managing the Chicago White Sox. And then in the other semifinal, in the final 4, it's going to be the Cubbies, the 6th seed, taking on the Yankees, the 9 seed. I will be managing the New York Yankees. As D. Scott Howard says, fun tournament, Al. I like seeing and hearing the dice rolls. Yeah, that's why I put the camera up. I enjoy it too. It's tough for me, even when I play offline now, I roll the dice. I just enjoy doing it. This is actually a fun game, Strat-O-Matic. Again, I know I complain about it a lot. I just wish they'd have a freaking sale every once in a while. I'd like to pick up a couple more seasons. I got to make some more teams because I have the free agent thing, like every player that ever played up until 2016. So I can make teams like I did my Italian-American Red Sox. And I played the Cardinals last night because I couldn't sleep, and I beat them. Frank Viola outdueled Bob Gibson. And Napoli hit a homer, and that was the game-winning run. Very good game. So that was fun. And we're going to be bringing you, I think, the next thing we do after the tournament, obviously we're going to go back to our Denny McLain, Bob Gibson challenge against the 2017 teams, as we're almost halfway through that. But we're also going to bring you some 1975, and one of the things I'm going to do is my Italian-American Red Sox versus, I think, the Cincinnati Reds, I think, a 75. I think we'll do that. Also, we'll be later down the date, or later down the line, whatever you want to say, we'll be bringing a 75 one-and-done tournament. Same style. Play-in games for the weaker teams, and then 16, Sweet 16, and so on and so forth. A lot of fun. This is a lot of fun. I'm also going to be finishing up our Ted Williams. We got 8 games left, 9 games left. Majority against the Yankees. We're tied for 4th with the Senators. That's one of our goals. Odds are we're not going to hold on to that. And we have the play-along for the 2018 Red Sox. All the Chris Sale starts. And actually, the Red Sox have caught up to me now. Where I was on Saturday, and of course, Chris Sale lost to the Yankees in my pre-play. But it's more important that he actually wins in real life, so that was a good thing. So I'm going to have to jump out in front of that again, too. So Clinton Park says, would like to see a special what if. Okay, what would you like to see, Clinton? What if special? As Clinton Parks has called me a traitor once again because I'll be managing the 1968 Yankees. So, we got a couple of what ifs in mind. Obviously, the 75 World Series, what if Jim Rice played? And I think when we do that, because we're going to use, we probably can use Strat if I want, but I think I might use out of the ballpark for that. I don't know. And I got to get back to my Mets 77 and Red Sox 77. We got lots of stuff. We got to get back to the O.J. Simpson. That's been put on hold a little bit. Hockey's been put on hold. We're going to revamp that. We're going to continue our Stanley Cup. It's one apiece with the Bruins and the Oilers. But we're going to revamp it. I think I should be able to cut the periods down time-wise. I'll be purchasing Action PC Basketball. They tweaked it a little bit. The animation's basically the same, but I like what they did with the coloring. It's more bright, and the stats. I'll be picking that up tomorrow. And we're going to tweak that too when we play it online. When I play offline, I play the full time and all that because I'm playing for my own enjoyment. I have to cut those games down somehow to an hour. So, anyhow, that's pretty much what's up on the channel. So, Clinton Park says, when the Sox lost by a half game to the Tigers. I'm playing that, Clinton. I'm playing the 72 season offline with the exact lineups out of the ballpark 19. I can throw some of those games up on the channel. I'm also playing, I did that open world, and we're in 1973 now. I think the 72 team, that was the open world team, we lost the division by 5. So, and that's with Trey. I have a killer pitching staff now. I got to throw some of those up on the channel. That's the team I threw the no-hitter with, Phil Necro. My pitching staff's insane for all the trades I made. I picked up a lot of older players. Nasty pitching staff. Unbelievable. Alrighty, let's close that out. And that's the stream, folks. It is 1:41 a.m. Hope you enjoyed it. And Clinton, that will be up on the channel. It's a request. We're going to get through a few other projects first. And next time I decide to play a 72 game, Clinton, I'll put it up online. And I'll just show you real quick if you want. How will I do that, though? How do I do that? Well, here, Clinton, we'll just piggyback. We'll piggyback it on this. If I hit close, that closes that. My screen goes black, I think. And it does. You just see my little hand. Yeah, the Cubs and all that stuff. All right, let's now bring up Out of the Ballpark, and I'll show you my 1972 as played with the lineups and everything using Out of the Ballpark 19. Clinton, I highly recommend you picking up that game. You're gonna, for $20, you can't go wrong, and you're gonna have so much fun. Okay, let's go to Steam. Hell, Clinton, I might buy you the damn game so you play it. If I buy the game, you better play it, Clinton. At least try it. Okay, let's go library. And Out of the Ballpark. I'm just going to show you my 1972 standings. Out of the Ballpark. I don't think you can see this, so that's fine. I just want to bring the standings up. There we go, Al. You got to click on the right game. There we go, Spartacus Aurelius. All right, so now let's go back to OBS and go to, Out of the Park. There we go, and that's coming up, and you'll see that shortly. So Out of the Park will come up. Digital Diamond Baseball. I've seen you've been playing that a bit, because you're a friend of mine now on Steam, so I can see. I would like to see 1988, Morgan Magic. That was one of my favorite baseball seasons. Let's hit continue, close, later, and load game. 1972, not alternate universe. We want 1972 as played. So here we go, Clinton. This is for you. Why is that not coming up? Should be coming up shortly. So I'm just going to show you my 72. That's one of the most intriguing seasons to me. Okay, there it is. Good. The Red Sox, and let's go to the standings, as I don't read my mail because it's as played. You can see it over here, but let's go to the full standings. Standings. The Red Sox are in second place, 4.5 behind the Orioles. Detroit's 6 back. We've played 25 games in the season for the Red Sox. They're 15-10. Baltimore's 21-7 in first. Then the Red Sox 15-10. 4.5 back, and Detroit's 15 and 13, 6 back. Milwaukee's 13 and 12, 6.5 back. Yankees 13 back. Cleveland 13.5. In the West, it's a dogfight. The Royals are in first place by a game over the Angels, 2 games over the White Sox, and 2.5 over Oakland, and 4 over Minnesota. Even the Rangers are still in striking distance at 7 back. In the National League East, Pittsburgh has a 1-game lead over the Cubs and a 4-game lead over the Expos, 6.5 over the Phillies. The Mets are 7 back. Cardinals 8.5 back in last. In the West, Houston's a surprise team so far. Half game in front of the Giants and 3 in front of the Big Red Machine, the Cincinnati Reds, and 4 in front of the Dodgers. The Padres and Braves are respectively 8 and 8.5 back. Okay, and just to show you some Red Sox stats, and I'm playing as played lineups. Now, I try to use, I don't do exactly what Clinton does, where Clinton literally uses the exact players. I try to do that, but I want to win games. So I use them pretty much the same way, but I'm playing slightly different. The lineups are the same, the pitching rotation is the same, but when it comes to pinch hitters and bringing in new pitchers and stuff like that, I use who I want. I do reference, baseball reference. Most of the time, I actually do use the same players, but, you know, like if Yastrzemski didn't play that day and I have a pinch hitting opportunity to get him in, I'm going to do it. So, right now, Rico Petrocelli has a .333 batting average. He's number 1 for the Red Sox. Then Yastrzemski at .304 and Reggie Smith .298. Harper, surprise, he has 6 home runs. And in reality, I think he's already, how many did he actually have? In 72, these are real stats right here. Well, he had 14 home runs. Okay. I don't know why I thought he only had 10. I wasn't that far off, 14. And Harper has 4 stolen bases. Petrocelli, 17 runs batted in. Harper, 11. And Fisk, 10. Pitching-wise, Marty Patton with a 1.9. Then Lou Krause, I think that's how you pronounce his name, Krause. Out of the bullpen, 1.93. And Ray Kolpa started 2.05. Strikeouts, Marty Patton with 31. Siebert, 2-1. Culp, 2-2. Why is Sonny Siebert on there twice? Oh, because ignore that, because when you're doing as played line, I think it does something weird with that. Anyway, they're just putting him on twice, but they're 2-2. So Sonny Siebert's 2-1, Culp's 2-2, and Marty Patton's 4-2. And since we're going with the as played lineup, they have a lot of weird spot starters early in the year. Bill Lee is actually listed as our closer. He's 1-0. His ERA is 4.05, and he has 2 saves. Louis Tiant still pitching out of the pen in 72. He does get some spot starts. He has 1 save, and his ERA is 1.42. Gary Peters, 1.04. Ken Tatum, 2.25. Krause, as I stated, 1.93. Don Newhouser, 4.50. He stinks. Garmin, I don't think Garmin has pitched yet. Garmin. No, he hasn't pitched yet. So he has he not been available to us? Anyway, that's my 1972 season, and that's as played. It's been a lot of fun. And I'll show you a quick look of my 72 season, which turned into my 73 season, and it's open world. So, let me show you that one quick, and we'll call it a stream, as I don't think there's anyone watching anymore but me. Alright, let's go back. File, save. start screen, load game, and this is my Open Universe 1972, and we're in the 73 season now. And I got a pitching staff like you wouldn't believe. 3 trades as it's loading up. And we're in first place by 5 games over the Orioles in 1973, as we're 49-28. And my pitching staff is absolutely marvelous. Phil Niekro's 10-3, 1.96 earned run average. We threw a no-hitter with him. Don Sutton, the Dodgers. I forgot who we traded, but I'm like, yeah, I'll make that trade. I mean, we gave up good players, but still, I got Don. He's 7-4, 2.30. Carlton, he's a bit wild. He's 9-7, but with the Red Sox, he's 3-1 with the Red Sox, so that's his combined. So Carlton's 3-1 with the Red Sox with a 2.12. Sutton with the Red Sox is 7-4. He's been there the full season. Louis Tion's 9-3 with a 3.36, and Gaylord Perry is 10-5. We picked him up in the off season. Yeah, did we get him in the off? Yeah, off season. He's been with us pretty much all year. He's 10-5, so we're looking pretty good there. Carlton Fisk leads the team in batting at 328, then Evans 316, and Pete Rose we picked up last year, 314. Homers, Fisk with 15, Steve Garvey with 12, Greg Nettles with 10. Runs batted in, Fisk with 48, Nettles with 41, Evans with 37. We don't really steal too many bases. Fisk with 2, Miller with 2, and Mark Belanger with 1. My standard lineup, and I kind of move it around. Rose, Yastrzemski, Sizemore. That's not right. I don't do that. It's Nettles usually bats. It depends who's pitching for the other team. I got Rusty Staub on the team, Del Unser. Pretty good squad here. And our next game, we haven't played this in a while. I play some of this. Again, I mostly play this offline. We have the Yankees. Oh, wow, we got the Yankees. Let's give you the overall standings. And this is Open Universe, Alternate Reality. 1972, which is now 1973. Quick look at the standings. Red Sox 49-28, 5 ahead of Baltimore. Milwaukee's 11 back. Indians 14 back. Yankees 16 back. And the Tigers 16.5. Oakland is 10 up on the Twins. They're 55-27. And then California's 13 back. The White Sox 17.5 back. Kansas City 21 back. And the Rangers 22.5 games back. Oh yeah, no, Clinton. Yeah, this is my fun league. I'll do the 72 as played. Again, I do some slight differentiation there with pinch hitters and pitchers coming out of the bullpen. The Pirates are 3 up over the Cubs, and the Mets 5 back. Cardinals 8.5. Expos 11. Phillies 12 back. Dodgers a game and a half over the Reds, 7 over the Giants, 10.5 over the Braves. The Padres 11 back, and Houston 14.5 back. So this is my 72 league alternate universe open world, which now is 1973, and we have a 5-game lead over the Orioles. So, anyhow, as Clinton Parrish, before we end it here, says, it's the pitching stats that are shocking. For what, the 72 as played? Again, with out of the ballpark, I use the strategy. So if I have a good pitcher, you can pitch around if he has good control and the other guy doesn't have a decent eye. Sometimes you even do it when the guy has a good eye because he's a good hitter and you really don't want to groove him to pitch. Fun game out of the ballpark. Clinton, you're going to be receiving that in about a moment. So, Mr. Clinton Parks. And let's just file save this. I'm going to be gifting you Out of the Ballpark 19 as a loyal FOC member. You are a winner, get a chicken dinner. File, exit. Yes, we want to exit. And now, go to screen's bad. The screen is going to black. There we go. Steam's up. And let's go to the old store here. Steam sale is going to be up on July 5th. 21st. I have some stuff. I only got some smaller stuff. I'm not really buying a big game. I tried a demo of a bigger game. I didn't like it, so I got a bunch of zombie killer games under like $5. And I added the last download I didn't have, the Winter War for Order of Battle. We're going to be bringing that to the channel soon. I got a lot of downloads for that. And other than that, it's a lot of zombie killing game. And I might pick up Strategic Command, though I didn't get good reviews. I like the World War I Strategic Command, but we might hold off on that. Anyhow, let's go back to the store. And let's type in Out of the Park 19. And let's go to Out of the Ballpark 19. And let's... No, don't play sound, don't play sound, don't play sound. Sound bad. And let's go to... I want to go to the page. I want to go... Here we go. Okay. I want to add to the cart. 3 friends want this game. Who's that? I thought that's that can't be Beatles. He has the game. That's Eric. There's Mr. Clinton with Honey Bunny. All right. There we go. Add to the cart. And purchase as a gift. And where's my friend Clinton Parks? Continue. Mr. Clinton Parks, you now have had a gift, my friend. Go check out your inventory. All right, buddy. Enjoy Out of the Ballpark 19. Thank you for being a loyal FOC member. And on that note, we will end the stream. So, as Clinton Parks has got it, well, enjoy. You're going to love the game. It's absolutely fabulous. Check out the workshop. You can load up all the old stadiums. They're almost all there. You'll enjoy. You can use the pictures in strategy baseball. You can use those pictures in this game. You just got to put them in the right file. So, or you can use they have good face gen. I think they actually have face gen for every year. That's in the workshop. I like to use the pictures, though. Beatles can help you with that. I can help you with that. As Clinton Perks is loading up now, FOC, you mean the Insane Asylum. That's all part of the FOC. And Eric doesn't have this game either. I thought he had Out of the Ballpark 19. But it said he didn't, so maybe we pick it up for him later. Alrighty, folks. Enjoy, Clinton. I want to see at least one game on your channel. One game of Out of the Ballpark 19. So, take care, my friend. God bless. To everyone, health and happiness. Till next time, watch out for the curveball in the dirt, the big left hook. God bless. And as always, peace.